title of my science fair project is Air Pressure versus Footballs. My scientific question was, does the amount of air pressure in a football affect the distance it is thrown? My controlled variable was the amount of air pressure in the football. My uncontrolled variable was the distance the football was thrown. My hypothesis was if the ball is underinflated, it will be easier to grip, therefore it is easier to throw. My materials were a standard size football, a pressure gauge, an air pump, and a meter stick. My procedures: first, using the meter stick, you need to measure 30 meters, making one piece of tape every 1 meter. Then, use the pressure gauge to measure the air pressure in the football. It should be properly inflated to 9 psi. You should have the first thrower, not knowing the psi of the ball, you should have the first thrower throw it 25 times, and I took their average. For the adult, the 9 psi was 16.42. And then I deflated it to 7 psi. Then I had the same thrower, not knowing what it was, throw it 25 times, and then my average was higher. It was 19.02. We repeated this with a youth who doesn't play football. His average was 8.82 for 9 psi, and then for 7 psi, his average was 9.57. Then we had a youth who does play football, throw it 25 times. His average was 20.66 for 9 psi, and then 23.74 for 7 psi. The research I found was that air pressure is the pressure exerted on you by air molecules being pulled down by gravity. Did you know that the pressure is about 15 pounds per square inch? Depending on your size, you could possibly have around 10,000 kilograms of pressure pressing on you. That is the weight of a small car. Objects also have their air pressure pushing outward at the same time. The air pressure in this football is pushing out, and there's also air pressure pushing in. But when I try to squeeze it, it doesn't go down very much. That is because it is exerting more air pressure than the air pressure pressing down on it. That's why we're not all pancakes. We figured out that a junior NFL-sized football needs at least 7 to 9 psi, pounds per square inch. Anyone who watched the 2015 Colts versus Patriots playoff game knows there were questions about the game ball's pressure. Some speculate that some balls were underinflated, causing a slight advantage for the Patriots. With these questions, some looked to Mother Nature as the cause. First of all, the same thing did not happen to the Colts footballs, and second of all, it wouldn't have been enough time to go from warm to cold and deflate that quickly. My resources were kids.earth.nasa.gov, Bill Nye, ESPN